You enjoyed the movie? Okay. So I'm Gail Mitchell, senior correspondent with Billboard magazine, and I was asked to take on this pleasurable duty to do a Q&A with Toni Braxton. I don't think I need to really do too much preamble. Everybody knows what a hell of a voice she has, how many hits she's accumulated on the charts. I was just telling her backstage she's got her 8th #1 hit song with on our Billboard adult R&B songs chart. Great album. If you haven't listened to it, Sex and Cigarettes, and I'll let you figure out what the songs might be about. Okay, but in the meantime, we're here to talk about the Antoinette Fuller story, Faith Under Fire. So without further ado, Toni Braxton. So I have a mix of questions that I have, a mix of audience questions, so we're just gonna jump right into it. So I'll start with the first question from the audience member, Bruce Goodchild. When did you get the script for this project, and from who?
I got the script for this project from my manager, Craig Baumgarten. We were doing interesting story. We were doing Unbreak My Heart on Lifetime, and I was at the gym working out, and I'm watching CNN, and I see the story happening at that moment with Antoinette Tuff and the whole thing, and I'm like, not really from Atlanta, but I consider it my second home. And I'm like, what's going on in Atlanta? Mm-hmm. So the irony of me getting this role years later, just the irony of it, I felt like it was something I was destined to do. And it was an exciting moment. I remember when I read it, and I thought, this sounds familiar. I know this story. And Bishop Jakes was attached to it. And I fell in love with the story immediately because it was something I felt at home with.
Okay. So that takes care of the second part of Bruce's question, which was, did you know immediately that you wanted to do this role?
I knew immediately, but when I was reading the script, I said, this is a meaty role, but this is tough. This is a lot of emotion. Can I do this? I'm a singer by trade, by nature. That's what I do in my sleep. So this was something I had to really prepare for. I didn't know how I was going to transform myself aesthetically, so I gained like 17, 18 pounds. Still got another 7 to go. But the point I'm saying is I gained a little weight for the role. I changed my hair. I tried to embrace the character without it being Toni Braxton, the performer. I didn't want you to see me, the performer at all. And when I met Miss Antoinette Tuff, she was wonderful, and her faith, and I'm a PK, I'm a preacher's kid, and I've had 3 cups of coffee, so I'm a little hyper today. But I love everything about the role. It was just a wonderful opportunity that I got to play it. It's great.
Did you feel, so you met Antoinette before? How important was that for you versus seeing her
I didn't get to meet her until the day we started shooting. I know, right? So I'm watching everything. I'm watching every video, every paper clip. I mean, whatever she did, whatever she was attached to, I was watching it. And I just fell in love with her faith, how she believed in herself. And, she just persevered everything. I don't know if I could have been that brave Toni Braxton myself, but as Antoinette Tuff, I feel like I could do anything.
So I couldn't remember, did you formally audition, or they just, because of your past track record?
I didn't have to audition. God. But I did have to prepare really hard. I mean, I think Bishop Jakes and the wonderful people at Lifetime, because I had done a few pictures with them, they said, we think this would be a great role for Toni. And they believed in me more than I believed in myself initially, because at first, I have to be honest, I thought it was too much. I said, oh my God, this is so heavy, it's so emotional. And there were some things that I could identify with, because I'm a mom and I have a special needs son, which I like to add, my son Diesel is completely off the autism spectrum. We just found out last month. Yes. So, early diagnosis changes everything. We still have his little therapies and things to do, and he is a sprouting actor. So he'll be a SAG member soon. So I'm super excited. So I just really identified with the character, and sometimes if you can identify with something too much, it kind of, like, I don't know if I feel like being that vulnerable, but I found that doing the role was very therapeutic for me.
So is it easy? I know you portrayed yourself in Unbreak My Heart. Yes. You've had some other films, Twist of Faith.
Yeah.
But at this point, is it easy to do someone real? Or
I think that's harder to do
fictional?
something real. I think because it takes so much emotion, and for me, I had to study really hard because I can sing in my sleep, but acting I have to prepare a little bit for. And I had an amazing acting coach who helped me through it, and Bondi, the director, he was wonderful, and he was very gentle with me. You know, I said, ask me, Toni, why did you make that choice? What were you thinking? It won't hurt my feelings. It's going to be educational for me. But he was very gentle with me, and I appreciate it.
So how long did the process take? Are there? I'm a neophyte on the film TV side, but do you practice? They do practice run-throughs, or how much do you practice versus when did they start rolling the cameras?
You know, we had a limited table reading. But the greatest thing was that I had time to prepare for the role. Although there were a lot of pink, blue, yellow, purple pages. So, you know, you change the rewrites. I learned about rewrites, guys. I learned about that. I feel really good about that. But the hardest thing for me, to be honest, was memorizing the lines. I tried to make it a melody. Like, I tried to sing it. I'm like, oh my God, this is a monologue. I can't sing a song this long, you know? That was the toughest part for me, just trying to memorize all the lines. But the greatest thing is we were in one location for most of it. So I got comfortable in my environment and my setting, so it made it easier for me to remember them.
How long was the shoot?
A wonderful 21 days.
Oh, that's fast.
Yeah,
okay.
it's pretty fast.
All right.
Yeah.
What mannerisms of Antoinette did you take on any of her mannerisms watching her on TV? And
I did. She does a thing like this that I tried to do with her glasses. She kind of rocks a little bit, so I tried to rock. And then, of course, the director's like, hey, too much rocking. What are you doing? What are you doing? So I had to pull that back a little bit. Yeah.
All right. And it was your first time working with Bondi? It
was my second time because he didn't break my heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys have a rhythm going? What, can you sense each other? Just how is it different from doing that film versus this one?
You mean with Bondi, the director?
Bondi as the director?
Well, he would do the scratch the head thing when I know, okay, something's not right. He's doing the scratch the head. I need to make another choice on that one.
Okay.
So that was kind of my little giveaway. So by the time he came over to me, I said, can I do that again? I'm going to do it a different way. He's okay. Let's try that.
All right.
So, yeah.
So this one doesn't have a name, but the particular question is, was any scene more difficult to get through? What was the most difficult scene you had to do?
The most difficult part is when she talked to the gunman about she herself contemplating suicide. And I remember as a mom when I was going through my divorce and I had to pay alimony and the whole thing. Okay, I'm purging too much information. But the point I'm saying, I just remember when you know, I've had a few bankruptcies, and she was having a bankruptcy. She had to pay her husband. All the bills were piling up. And I remember that moment in my life of feeling hopeless. And that was hard for me to do because I did not want to relive it. I'm like, I'm past it. I thought I was past it. But I found out when I did the role, it came out, and I felt liberated. And I can say today, I am completely past that part of my life. Because of her. Because of that
Very nice. Yeah. Okay, very cool. Sheila.
Hi, Sheila.
Did you always have aspirations to be an actress while you were pursuing your singing career?
I don't think I've always had it, but I think it was something I've always wanted to do. I think being a performer, we're kind of acting on stage a little bit, or even doing videos and things like that. I've been blessed to do little things like, great things I should say, not little things, like Kevin Hill. So I've had little moments where I got to apply the acting. And I've really enjoyed it. I like being someone else. That's kind of fun for me. I mean, I get on stage and I sing, and that's great. I'm very blessed to do what I do. But sometimes I like to feel like a student. Okay. And I think acting, I feel like a student and hadn't had that feeling in a really long time. Because the record business, I mean, not to say that I know everything about it, because I don't, but I've been doing it for such a long time. And it was like, okay, I'm going to put out an album, I'm going to do press, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go tour. This is something completely new, and I like learning.
Okay.
It was great.
All right. So how did you channel, you see movies, or I've seen like Tootsie, where they show Dustin Hoffman going through acting classes and that sort of thing, and being able to cry on a dime, and you had me crying because those tears were just coming down. So how did you channel that emotion to effortlessly have the tears coming down?
You know, I just kept thinking of how I would feel if I was Miss Tuff. How would I get through this moment? And it was hard for me because I'm not a crier by nature, but I found it was just pouring out of me. Go figure. It was just pouring out of me. And I think because the screenwriter did such a great job in making that emotion come out based on the words. When I was reading the words, I felt the emotion that was attached to it.
Okay. And then the other thing I noticed also, and I wanted you to address it, the faith. She had such an abiding faith that she needed to stay there. She needed to do the right thing. This was her purpose in life. So talk a little bit about how your faith over everything you've been dealing with in your life and your career, and how that correlated with Antoinette's faith.
You know, what I do identify with Antoinette is, I mean, there are many things, but with all the struggles I've gone through in my life and my career, it's been a lot of ups and downs and downs and up. You know, I figure, I look at it, I'm still here, and it's been hard and it's been tough. And sometimes you just gotta just be fearless. And I decided to be fearless, like I thought her character was. And I'm a PK, like I said before, I'm a preacher's kid. And I think for me, having that faith and that religious background helped me also in the role, because this woman, whoa, I mean, the whole script, I mean, it was a lot of Bible verses and scriptures, and I understood what everything meant. So that helped me a lot. I mean, she was just steadfast and unmovable, and I commend her. And I mean, when you think of things that's happened, like the Parkland and all the things, the school shootings, I think this movie came at the perfect time. It had a happy ending. It wasn't a great situation, but it was a happy ending. And I was delighted that you know, people can look at this movie and say, okay, something positive. No one died. These kids got to be reunited with their parents that night, and that makes me feel good. A positive story.
So do you watch your films? Some actors...
No.
You don't?
No.
So you're telling me you didn't watch Unbreak My Heart? You didn't watch
I can't do it. I watched, when we premiered it a few times, I was in the back.
Really?
I couldn't do it. I can't do it. I would critique myself.
Okay.
Too much, like, oh, I should have held my head like this, or should have done that. You know, I tried to watch maybe 2 minutes of it and say, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you talk to Antoinette afterwards? Have you guys spoken?
Yes, we are friends. We're girlfriends.
Okay.
I just talked to her like a week ago. I was in Atlanta. She's great. She told me so many stories of her life. So that day we were shooting the movie, I spent like 2 hours talking to her. Okay. So I got it fresh and immediate. So I was able to apply it right then and there.
Okay. So what did y'all talk about?
We talked a lot of girl stuff. We talked about men. Sorry, guys, no pun intended. We were like old friends coming together, and her name's Antoinette, but they call her Toni.
Oh, so
that was really
wow.
cool. I love that. Twinning. That was great.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Another audience question. This is more regarding your music career. Was your family always is all of your family into music? When did you start singing? At what age?
Okay, our whole family's into music. Okay, we've been singing since we were little kids. Thank you. And for me, we sung in church. So the pulpit was our stage, and the congregation was my audience. So singing as a little kid, I mean, my voice was always kind of husky, though. Like right now, I'm on my interview voice for you guys. I don't want to frighten you. It's very, very low. So I always had this kind of androgynous sounding voice, very, very low. You couldn't, but I like it. But people told me all my life I would never be able to sing. Her voice is too masculine. So So you know, you got to have those moments. You know. That's my son and my daughter in the movie. They're here.
Wow, very nice.
Yes.
All right.
I remember how difficult that scene was. The first scene we shot was the emotional scene at the end, after she was reunited with her son and her and her daughter.
Okay.
And that was very difficult for me. I'm like, okay, how am I going to be emotional right now? It's like, and it was raining outside. You guys remember that? It was a tough moment. I was like, oh, this is what the actors feel like. Okay, got it. Like, I didn't get why after they did a movie, everyone had to take a break. I didn't get it. Like, why do I have to take a break? This is over. Whoa. I'm sorry. I have to apologize to all the actors and actresses in the world. It's tough. You got to let it go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that last question about music, I don't want to leave anyone out.
Go ahead,
Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne.
Malott.
Hi, Suzanne. How are you? I love you. Thank you.
So, yeah, talk a little bit about that. I think I'm a pretty linear person, and maybe this is how I know when you're recording an album, you're not necessarily going, okay, this is going to be the first track, second, third. So talk a little bit about filming a movie like that and starting with that pivotal scene.
Yeah.
And is our most movies shot like that, out of sequence?
I didn't know that, but I guess most movies are shot out of sequence. I guess you have to find the location, and it all makes sense. So I'm like I said, I'm learning a lot about it. You know, when I sing a song, I often start my songs off with the hook, and then I'll go to the verses. Okay. But I'm learning that there is a rhyme and there is a rhythm to performing and acting. I didn't know.
Okay. So what for you so far, and we'll talk a little bit about what you got coming up in the future, what is it that you get different out of acting than you do out of singing?
Oh my God, acting makes me feel a little bit more powerful, but at the same time, I feel like a child. And I like that feeling. You know, I like feeling like I'm like newness again. I know that sounds really crazy. And for me, okay, I'm gonna go a little bit into my history. I was diagnosed with lupus a few years ago, and the doctors told me I would never be able to perform, you'll never be able to do anything. So for me, I feel like I'm getting a second chance. Not only did God bless me, I get to sing, I get to try acting. And it's just wonderful how everyone's been embracing me, and they've been really helping me. And I always hear people, you don't want to tell people, you know, what to do or how to act or how to be or what their choices. Tell me, because I want to learn. So, do you have any notes for me? Okay. Thank you so much.
So what drives your decision when you're looking at film projects? What 2 or 3 things must the script have, or what must it pique inside of you or intrigue you to decide, I'm going to do this?
Well, this time it must be a comedy.
Okay.
I need something lighter. So I'm really excited. I'm about to do a new film with Lifetime, and it's a Christmas movie. So I'm looking forward to that. Christmas is one of my favorite holidays. Here with my family, we sing and we laugh and we giggle, and we love Christmas movies, so this is going to be great for me.
For 2018?
For 2018, yeah.
Okay.
Is it this year?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. All right. I know you probably can't say too much more at this point.
Can I say too much? Well, I just got the script last week.
Okay.
So we're still starting it.
All right. Got you.
But it's funny and it's
right.
light.
All right.
And holiday-ish, which we love.
All right. This is from Sean Richards.
Sean? Hi, Sean. How are you?
Did you think doing a reality show would be such a positive experience?
No. No, I did not. You know, I didn't want to do the reality show. But true story, Braxton Family Values. I'm sorry. I have a show with me and my sisters. We're an animated bunch.
In what season? It's season 7?
Seasons forever.
Seasons forever.
Season 7.
At least 7, yes.
It's a bottomless cup of coffee, but we do have a lot of fun, you know. I didn't want to do the show, and my sisters, this is really a true story. I did the show because we were playing Monopoly. My sisters and I, we play a lot of family games. And I landed on Park Place, and I owed her like $2,800. And she said, okay, you don't have to pay me, but you have to do the reality show. And I said yes, thinking, okay, we're just talking. And she held me to it. So that's kind of how I started doing Braxton Family Values.
Wow.
True story.
So what have you learned about yourself and your craft?
You know, I don't like the cameras around me all the time. I can't deny it. But I am finding that I am having a good time. And even though I thought I wanted to say no, I'm so glad I said yes, because I'm reunited with my sisters every day. And the greatest thing about being family, you can fuss and you can fight, but you have to come back together. If you're not related, you know, you see some shows, they fight and whatever, but they don't know each other. They're not related. They can go home and leave it there. My parents force us to work it out. So it reminds us that, you know, the family thing is very important. You may not like each other every day, but you have to love each other and get along and figure it out.
Okay. So you think a musical could be in your future? Either stage-wise or
we've been talking about
film-wise?
it. We've been talking about possibly doing something on the stage, the Braxton.
Okay.
That could be fun.
Because you got Tina Turner now, her life's up
Exactly.
there. The Temptations are getting ready to do something. Donna Summer, they just...
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I love her. But from your mouth to God's ears, we'll see what happens.
Okay. So talk a little bit about, for folks who aren't aware of, your Sex and Cigarettes.
Sex and Cigarettes. It's my newest album. It's out on Def Jam Universal. It just came out March 23rd. I'm really excited about it. I wanted to do something that was a little more retro. Everyone keeps asking, how did you come up with Sex and Cigarettes? You know, I wanted to do something sexy, and I do a lot of sad love songs where your heart's broken, and I'm like a cardiologist of the heart, kind of, you know. But this time I wanted to talk about adult things. I could still talk about the sad love songs, but I might put a middle finger up while I'm talking about it this time. So that's pretty much. Excuse me?
Can you sing us a little?
What do you want me to sing?
Anything.
Wow.
Long as I live? Will you guys sing it with me? What would you like me to sing?
So you want to do a little bit of Long As I Live, because that's your latest number one.
The pressure. Okay,
We're putting you on the spot here.
yes, you are. Okay, are y'all gonna sing it with me if you know it? And everybody's talking about you and her together. Could you do that to me? I'll go quick. Longer I live, I'll never get over. And it's killing me. I'll never get over. Okay, there it is.
All right.
Thank you.
So I wanted you to share with the audience before we wind up. You were telling me in the green room back there that this is your first go-round with the whole Emmy season. And
Yeah, this is my first. I'm excited. Thank you, guys. I had no idea of the process. And I'm having a lot of fun. But what I love most about it is wonderful people like Miss G here, and she's been so wonderful and patient with me. She interviewed me for Billboard and all that stuff, and I was having a bad day. You remember that?
Yes.
And I was hanging with my kids. I was doing some chaperone thing with my kids. So I was saying like all day, like, and I don't know, and I'm like 15 today. Can you take the likes out when you do the interviews for me? So she was very patient with me that day. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys. And I want to thank everybody just for all the great questions and just reminding me to just enjoy life and have fun. Sometimes you forget to have fun. Like sometimes in my music career, I forgot to have fun. It was always haste, work all the time. So this is, I feel like the first time in my life I really get to enjoy it. I appreciate it. And I think that's the reason for it. And I'm the big 5-0 this year, guys. So.
All right.
Yeah. Although, parts of me are 25, but... Wow, too much information. But I feel like I want to be a centennial. My goal is to be 100. I want my letter from the president would probably be Justin Bieber or someone by then. And I want to be on the cover of the Smucker's jar.
I got you.
Fussing about why am I on the cover of strawberries? I want to be on the cover of what's the other jelly? Great. There it is. So I'm looking forward to being a centennial.
Okay.
I'm
Well, I was
excited.
going to ask what your ultimate goals were, so now you just...
There it is.
All right, so there it is. All right. All right, so thank you, everyone. Thank you,
you guys so
Toni.
much.
Hand for Toni.